A follow-up to our I-Team report on homes with a history of flooding. A national organization contacted us after seeing our story. Mason McLeod explains what they're doing to make sure people don't end up owning a home with flooding problems.
Brendan, you might remember this house and the story of the family who owns it. They bought it without knowing the history of the home, and it flooded 3 times last year. The national organization Pew Charitable Trust is working to make some changes in Congress to make sure that doesn't happen to more families. Pew is using Charleston as a model for how problematic flooding can be.
We're really looking to Charleston and Mayor Riley's experience so that we can take that and really apply it at the federal level.
They want to prevent repeat flooding by requiring flood history to be disclosed more specifically and to make it a national policy that follows the home from buyer to buyer.
And it isn't necessarily that the seller wouldn't be candid with them. It may be that the seller hasn't had it that long either. There should be a history of flooding experiences that run with property.
You know, there's federal precedence for this because, you know, we already require disclosure of lead-based paint presence, for instance, in older homes. That has to be disclosed. So this shouldn't be something that is too difficult. It ought to be something that, you know, most members of Congress can really get behind and support.
This is expected to go before Congress in mid-September. Riley and Pew are also pushing to expand the hazard mitigation program to pull people out of repeat flooded homes and ultimately save FEMA money in fixing them.
And homeowners in those areas sometimes are stuck. They can't sell the property, but when there's a flood, you know, it's going to be damaged, and then there's going to be costs associated, and the national government will have to come in and help. So in some places, the best thing would be for that to be acquired, people be paid their fair market value. They can go buy a replacement home that's not going to flood, and then that area that's flooding could be converted into a park or something else.
Well, Macy, you know, you talk about that, and certainly we know about flooding, and we think of it very often associated with rain, but that really is not the only thing that contributes to flooding here, is it?
That's right. Drainage is also a big problem, and Pew says that they recommend using a lot of the ecosystems that are already in place. That means those marshes and wetlands that we have around, and preserving those and actually growing them to create more natural drainage. So I'll have more on what they're working to do in that aspect coming up in our 6 o'clock hour.
All right, certainly need to protect those. Thank you, Macy.
Macy, thank you.